Hey guys, it's Amity. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing yet another tier list, and you guys actually voted for this tier list over in my Discord and on my Twitter. So if you would like to be a part of more votes in the future, feel free to join the server. We would love to have you all. It should be linked in the link tree in my profile. But yes, today we are doing another tier list. So this one is all of the Animal Crossing species. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've played Animal Crossing, but I did get New Horizons when it first came out 3 years ago now, which is kind of wild. And I got obsessed with it for a very long time. It's the game that first got me into Animal Crossing, and I definitely have some strong opinions about some of the villages. I'm very picky with the species that were on my island. So let's go through all the species and see what I think of them. So we've got our 4 tiers here. S tier is must have them all. These are the species where I'm like, I love every single one of them or almost all of them. And if I wasn't so indecisive, it would probably just have an entire island of this species. Next tier down is best friends. These are the species where I love the majority of the villages in them. And there's a lot of options there that I really like. Next tier down is 50-50. These are those ones where it's like there's maybe a small handful of them that I actually do like, but the rest of them I'm just not really a fan of. And then the final tier is go extinct. These are the species that I just hate every single one of. There's not a single one I like. I never want them on my island, and I kick them off as soon as possible. So, obvious disclaimer, these are all my opinions. If you guys like villages that I don't, or you dislike villages that I do, that is completely fine. These are fictional video game characters, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Very quickly, you will learn that I have a very specific taste when it comes to these guys, so don't be surprised. And of course, the pictures that are down here are just to show the species. We aren't going to be focusing on the specific villager that's shown. We're just going to be talking about the species of the villagers. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, so the first category is the bird villagers. Now, I don't really like any of the bird villagers in particular. However, I do kind of like the style of the bird villager. Like, I like how small they are and their big round heads, and I think they do look kind of silly. Just a lot of them seem to be more of like the jock or the cranky personality types, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm probably going to put these guys in 50-50, just because from looking at the list of all the ones that are in New Horizons, there's only maybe like 1 or 2 that I would be tolerant of. Alright, so the next category is pig, and these guys are going in 50-50 as well. There's probably like 3 or 4 that I think are kind of cute, Agnes being one of them. She was actually my starter on my most current island. But just the rest of them I think are kind of ugly, which I get is kind of the point. They're pigs, like I get it. But again, they're just not really my thing. I definitely go for more of the like stereotypically cute villagers, which you'll start to recognize probably fairly soon. Anteaters can go extinct, however. I don't think there's a single anteater that I actually like. I was stuck with Olaf on one of my islands for a while, and he could not have gone faster. I hated him with a burning passion. Alright, the eagles, again, I don't really like these guys, but there are a couple of them that I don't mind. I think Apollo and Amelia are probably the only 2 that I would be accepting of, but the rest of them I'm just not a big fan of. The hamsters, I really hate to say, because I wish I liked the hamster group. It's the same sort of thing with the birds, how I like the shape of them and they're so small and round, but I just can't get behind a lot of them. The only 2 I really like are Apple and Flurry, but Apple and Flurry are really cute. But I don't think I can put them in best friends just because that's only like 2 of them. So they're probably going to have to go in 50-50. Alright, next are the tigers. And strangely enough, I don't think I've ever actually had a tiger on my island. But I like most of them. I think they're really cute. Especially, of course, Bianca. Everyone knows Bianca. So yeah, I think that they're going to go up there for now. Alright, next we have the deers, and I think I'm going to put deers in best friends as well. I like almost all of them. There's only like one or two that I'm not really a big fan of. But I love how they've all got like different shaped antlers and they're all just really, really cute. A lot of them are jock and cranky personality types, but they get a pass because of just their little antlers. I think they're really cute. And a lot of the deers seem to be really popular villagers as well. I think Eric is one of them. Fauna I had on one of my islands for a little while. And Fuchsia was actually the very first villager I ever had on my very first island. So I have a lot of nostalgia for the deer. Alright, these next two, hippos and bulls, I can tell you straight away, could just go extinct. They could just be deleted from the game and I would not care less. I think all of them are just gross and they're all just really like, eh. I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it. They don't fit into my style. They're all really gruff, I guess, is the best way to explain it, and that's just not for me. Alright, next we have Bunnies! And Coco is actually one of my favorite villagers of all time. I really, really want her. The bunnies, I would have just a whole bunny island if I could. I love pretty much every single one of them. They're so cute. Ruby, Dottie, Coco, just all of them are so adorable. And I love the variety that the bunny villagers have as well. Elephants, I'm going to put in... I'll put them in 50-50. There's no elephant villages I actually really like, but I don't think they're as terrible as these guys down here. I just probably wouldn't personally have them on my island. The sheep as well, I'm going to put in the same spot. I would probably never have any of the sheep villages on my island if I could help it, but I don't hate them nearly as bad. I think some of them are kind of cute. The only exception to that rule is Pietro. I hate him. Ugh, it's the clowns. I can't do the clowns. Next, I think this is probably going to be a fairly popular opinion, but the wolves, just pure wolf island. There's not a single wolf that I don't like, even the old cranky ones. I love them all. I'm obsessed with them. Pretty much every island I've ever had has probably been like at least half wolf and dog. Next are the ostriches, they're technically called. This villager in specific is a flamingo. I'm not a fan of these guys either. They're gonna go in 50-50 because there's like one or two designs that I'm not terribly mad at, but again, I would not have them on my island if I could help it. The alligators, I probably wouldn't mind if they got rid of altogether though. They look too big and bulky for the style of the game, I guess, like with the big, thick snouts and everything. It's the same issues with the hippos and the bulls. They don't give me like the small, cute vibes that I'm after. Dogs 100% have to go in the top tier. All of the dogs are amazing. Lucky and Cherry are like two of my dreamies. There's always been like at least 2 or 3 dogs on every single island I've had. The chickens. They can just be gone. I hate all of them. There's not a single chicken I like. The roosters, fucking whatever, I don't care. They're terrible. The rhinos I will put in 50-50, very close to the hippos in design. They just swap out teeth for horns, really. This villager here is actually probably the only rhino I think is acceptable, but yeah, would not have them on my island if I could help it. The kangaroos I'm probably going to put in extinct, not necessarily because I hate them as much as these other guys, but just because of the few kangaroo species that there are. I just don't really like any of them. And I get that they have like the joey in the pouch because it's kangaroo, it's what they're known for, all of that. But then you've got like the male kangaroos that it's just weird them having a joey, and the joey isn't really like a part of the villager, like they don't talk or anything. It's kind of a weird idea. Gives me Kangaskhan vibes from Pokemon. The frogs are going in the best friend category. Fun fact, I'm actually scared of frogs in real life, but I think that fictional and cartoon frogs are very, very cute. Probably 90% of the frog villagers I really like. Of course, everyone likes Lily. Puddles was on my very original island, and I love her. I regretted it so much when I chose to get rid of her. But yeah, I think the frogs are really cute. Squirrels as well, definitely going in the top category. I love all of the squirrels. Marshall is like my best friend. I'm looking at the list of them here, and just so many of them. Like Blair is one of my dreamies. Filbert, Ione, of course, Marshall, Mint, Peanut. I fell in love with Pecan, Poppy. Just all of the squirrels are so cute. Even like the more ugly ones, I guess, like maybe Ricky, I just think are really cute. I love them all. Koalas, I'm gonna put in 50-50, kind of for the same reason as the kangaroos, but I think they're a bit of a more mild offense. None of the koalas just really stick out to me. I don't necessarily enjoy them, but there's also not very many of them, so I can't really fault them for it. Like, there's much more smaller margin of error, if that makes sense. But they're not necessarily like straight up ugly, in my opinion. Now the ducks! The ducks are another must have them all. All the ducks are just so cute. They're so hard to find as well. Whenever I go hunting, I never seem to find any of the ducks, but a lot of them are so adorable. And I wish there were more, and I could have more, and I could just have 1,000 villagers on my island. Lions, disgusting. They can get out of here. Hate it. The cows as well. Same thing as the bulls. It's just the female versions of them. They're too chunky and bulky, and I'm not a fan of them. The octopuses, octopi, I will put in the best friends category. There's really not many of them. I think there's maybe only 4, but I don't actually hate any of them. The only reason they're not in the top category is because I don't love all of them. The only one that I'm really attached to is Zucker. That's his name. Everyone else is just kind of like, yeah, cool. I like them. But they're up there because of Zucker. The gorillas also can just leave. Whenever I see any kind of gorilla on a villager hunt, I'm off the island already. I don't even need to see who it is. I don't do monkeys and apes and all of that. It's like the Uncanny Valley region for me, and I don't like them. I also don't like how small their legs are in proportion to the rest of their body. Kind of weird. So in saying that, I'm also going to skip forward a little to get the monkeys out of here. Again, just don't do them. The horses, I will probably put in 50-50. Don't love any of them, but none of them really offend me. So we'll leave it at that. The cats, of course, have to have them all. Usually on my regular islands, it is just these guys on my islands. Like, that's all it is. The cats, of course, I'm a cat person in real life. We all know this. There's not a single cat villager that I do not like. Every single one of them is brilliant. I love them all. I would have them all if I could. Penguins, I am going to put in, I'll say best friends. There's probably only like 1 or 2 designs that I don't like. The rest of them I think are pretty good. I never really have the penguins on my island though. I think the only one that's actually been on my island was Aurora. But I just like how fucking round and fat they are. They're really cute. And they always have the big giant eyes. And they suit my aesthetic very well. The mice, I am going to put in extinct. I don't like any of the mice. I get it. You would think I like them in the same reason I like hamsters. Like, they're small and they're very round. But I don't like the shape of them very much, is the best way I can probably put it. Goats. I think the goats I'll put in best friends as well. I like pretty much all of the goat designs. Sherb especially, he's just so cute. I just never seem to have them. I'm not as attached to some of the goats as I am other people. I know a lot of people also really like Chevrolet. She was in my New Leaf Island, I think. But yeah, I just don't really get attached to them. Now, the cubs I am also going to put in must have them all, because so many of the cubs I really, really like. Stitches especially, of course, is one of my dreamies. I think it's one of everyone's. They're just so cute. That's really my criteria for good villagers, is just small and cute. That's all I'm asking for. Which is the complete opposite of what the bears are, so they can go in 50-50. I don't hate them, they don't disgust me like the bulls and the hippos do. They're trying to be the cubs, but they're big. They're like the grown-up versions, because, you know, bear cub. And yeah, they've lost their charm, in my opinion. They're taller than the player character, and that's kind of very intimidating, and I don't like it. But yeah, so overall, that is my tier list. This is what I think of all of the different species of the Animal Crossing villages. Thank you guys for joining me today. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and feel free to check out the other content here. I am currently on a roll with uploading every second Sunday. So if you are in the mood for more tier lists and things similar to this, also consider chucking a quick subscribe down. I also upload all my VODs from my Twitch channel here as well, multiple times a week. So do consider also checking that out if you wanted. My goal for this year is to hit 150 YouTube subscribers by the end of the year, so it would be much appreciated if you could help out with that. And feel free to let me know down below what you think of my tier list and what your favorite Animal Crossing villages are. But I will see you next time. Have a safe time zone. Goodbye.